You're awake. 3 in the morning, staring at the ceiling. Your chest feels tight. Not pain exactly. Something heavier. A weight you can't name. You've been breathing all day. All your life. And yet right now, in this silence, you realize something unsettling. You don't remember the last time you took a real breath. Not the shallow gasps between emails. Not the held breath during another meeting that should have been an email. Not the suffocated sighs when you check your bank account, a real breath. The kind that fills your entire body. The kind that reminds your nervous system you are safe. You've forgotten that breath exists. And that forgetting is slowly killing you. They never taught you this, not in school, not at work, not anywhere. They taught you to produce, to optimize, to hustle until your bones ache with purpose. They told you exhaustion was the price of success. That anxiety was just part of being ambitious. That if your mind races at midnight, you're just thinking too much. Just calm down, just relax, just breathe, as if you haven't been trying. You wake up tired, you scroll before your feet touch the floor. Notifications stack like debt you never asked for. Your mind starts running before you've even stood up. Coffee, shower, commute, tasks, more tasks. The endless list that regenerates like a wound that refuses to heal. You check things off, but the list never shrinks. You accomplish, but you never feel accomplished. You're moving, always moving. But deep down you feel completely still, frozen in a loop. Working harder, achieving more, feeling less. And at night, when the world finally goes quiet, the noise inside you screams louder. The replayed conversations, the imagined failures, the what-ifs that spiral into nothing. You lie there, eyes open, heart pounding for no reason. You are not lazy, not broken, not weak, disconnected from your body, from your breath, from the current that runs through all living things. The enemy is invisible. It doesn't wear a face. It's not your boss, not your partner, not your past. The enemy is the noise, the constant hum of modern existence that drowns out your inner compass. The ego that whispers, you're not enough. The attachment to outcomes you can't control. The desperate grasping at results that slip through your fingers like water. You were never meant to live like this. This frantic chase. This suffocated existence. This slow drowning in plain sight. You are not a failure. You are a warrior who has forgotten the way. A sword left to rust in the rain. A flame burning without oxygen. But the ancient masters knew something we have forgotten. Long before productivity apps, before motivational podcasts, before the cult of doing more, they understood a simple truth. The breath is the bridge, the thin thread connecting body to mind, chaos to stillness, suffering to presence. In the Taoist tradition, they called it the cultivation of qi, the life force that flows through every living being. When it moves freely, you are alive. When it stagnates, you decay. The Zen monks of Japan would spend years mastering a single breath, not to achieve enlightenment, but to return to what was always there. Mushinda mind, without mind, the state of being so present, so absorbed, that the self dissolves, where thought becomes action, where action becomes effortless. They didn't breathe to relax. They breathed to remember who they were. Here is the truth no one tells you. You don't need more motivation. You don't need another system. You don't need to try harder. You need alignment, Wu Wei. The ancient principle of effortless action. Not doing nothing, but doing without resistance. Moving with life, not against it. And the doorway to Wu Wei is a single conscious breath. When you breathe without awareness, you are a passenger. Your nervous system reacts, your mind races, your body tightens. You become a leaf in the storm, tossed by every emotion, every thought, every notification. But when you breathe with intention, everything changes. The extended exhale activates the parasympathetic nervous system. The vagus nerve signals safety, cortisol drops. The racing mind slows, not through force, through surrender. This is not positive thinking. This is not meditation for productivity. This is physiology, bowing to ancient wisdom. The technique is simple, almost insultingly simple, and that's why most will ignore it. The mind craves complexity. It wants programs, steps, secrets. But the masters knew the deepest truths are the simplest ones. When anxiety rises, when the chest tightens, when the noise becomes unbearable, you do this. Inhale through the nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale through the mouth for 8 seconds. 4, 4, 8. The extended exhale is the key. It tells your ancient brain there is no tiger, there is no threat. You are safe. One breath. That's all. But one breath done with complete presence contains more power than 1,000 distractions. The samurai called this remaining mind. The awareness that persists after the sword has struck. They understood that the battle was never truly external. The enemy was the scattered mind, the fragmented attention, the breath held hostage by fear. Before battle, they would breathe, not to calm their nerves, to sharpen their spirit, to arrive fully in the present moment, where fear cannot exist, where hesitation dies, where the warrior and the action become one. This is not about eliminating anxiety forever. That is a lie sold by those who profit from your desperation. Anxiety is part of being human. It signals that you care, that something matters. The goal is not to kill it. The goal is to meet it, to breathe with it, to let it pass through you like wind through an open door. Resistance creates suffering. Acceptance creates flow. Discipline in the East is not punishment. It is reverence. Respect for the temple you inhabit, the body that carries you, the mind that shapes your reality. Kasan, the way of continuous improvement. Not through force, through daily devotion. One conscious breath each morning, then 2, then 10. 10. Small deposits into an account that compounds into transformation. Gamba, the spirit of perseverance, with dignity. Not grinding until you break, but showing up with honor. Day after day, breath after breath. This is the quiet rebellion against a world that wants you anxious, that profits from your panic, that feeds on your fractured attention. You have been breathing wrong your whole life. Not because you are flawed, because no one taught you. They taught you to chase, to climb, to accumulate. They never taught you to stop, to feel the air enter your lungs, to notice the pause between breaths, to experience the exhale as a small death and the inhale as a small rebirth. The prohibited technique is not prohibited because it's dangerous. It's prohibited because it's free, because it requires no app, no subscription, no guru, just you, and the breath that has been waiting for you to return. The system does not want you calm. A calm mind does not scroll endlessly, does not impulse buy, does not chase validation in the eyes of strangers. A calm mind is dangerous, because it sees clearly, and those who see clearly cannot be easily controlled. There is an invisible war being waged for your attention. Every notification is a small theft. Every scroll is a small surrender. Every shallow breath is a small death. But you can reclaim yourself, one exhale at a time. The masters of old did not have less stress than you. They lived through war, through famine, through suffering you cannot imagine. But they had something you have lost. A practice, a yanku, a way to return to the present moment when the mind tried to drag them into the abyss. That anchor was always the breath. In Japanese archery, the kuro masters would spend hours perfecting a single release. But before the arrow left the bow, before the fingers opened, before the string sang through the air, they would breathe a long, slow exhale, emptying themselves of expectation, emptying themselves of ego, becoming nothing but the breath, the bow, and the target. In that emptiness, perfection emerged, not through effort, through absence. This is what the modern world has stolen from you. The permission to be empty, the space between thoughts, the silence between breaths. We have filled every moment with noise, with content, with stimulation, until stillness itself feels like failure, until doing nothing feels like sin, until breathing consciously feels like wasted time. But the breath is not wasted time. It is the reclamation of time. It is the moment you step out of the machine and remember you are not a machine. You are something far more ancient, far more powerful. Tonight, when you lie in bed, when the ceiling stares back at you, when the thoughts begin their familiar spiral, try something different. Don't fight the noise. Don't try to fall asleep. Just breathe. 4 seconds in. Hold for 4. 8 seconds out. Feel your heartbeat slow. Feel the weight lift. Feel yourself return. Not to productivity, not to success, to yourself. There is a Zen koan that asks, what was your original face before your parents were born? It points to something beneath the noise. Before the conditioning, before the anxiety became a second skin, your original face does not hustle, does not perform, does not need to prove. It simply breathes, and in that breath, it is complete. I am not here to fix you. you were never broken. I am here to remind you of what you already know. The breath is the anchor. The stillness is the strength. The path is beneath your feet. It always was. So here is your choice. You can close this video and return to the noise, to the endless scrolling, to the hollow achievements, to the 3A.M ceiling, or you can take one breath. Right now, with full presence. 4 seconds in. Hold. 8 seconds out. The question is not whether this works. The question is whether you will remember tomorrow and the day after. And the day after that, until conscious breathing becomes unconscious, until presence becomes your default, until you realize you were never separate from peace. You simply forgot how to return. The ceiling will still be there tonight, but maybe this time it won't look the same. Maybe this time you will breathe, and in that breath, you will find what you've been searching for in everything else. The only question that remains is this: will you remember to breathe when the noise returns? Or will you forget again? The choice, as it always was, is yours alone.